Speaker.
Honourable Nathan Guy.
Speaker, I wish to make a contribution on this bill under the member's name of Chris Hipkins, Electricity Renewable Preference Amendment Bill. The National Party does have some concerns with this bill, and I'd like to outline the reasons why. I think if you consider New Zealand's electricity market that's designed so that the generators invest in the cheapest new electricity generation projects, of course we all know that that maximises efficiency and produces the lowest cost increases for consumers, which is very, very important. And the thermal ban that was passed by the previous government was very blunt and an unnecessary instrument. For this reason, all the major electricity generators were opposed to the ban, as well as all major lobby groups, which is an important point. And I think the member is really trying to reintroduce something that nobody really wants. And if you have a look at the meaning of fossil fuel on page 4 there, natural gas, coal, petroleum, any refined petroleum product and any other obligation fuel, we would consider those, banning those to be very, very restrictive. When you think about how this country from time to time relies on thermal generation, coal and gas-fired plants generate about a quarter to a third, depending on the time of year, of our electricity. During the winter months in 2008, I'm not sure if the members look back that far, that coal and gas plants were at times supplying over 50% of New Zealand's electricity needs, when we obviously had a very dry autumn, which we're not having at the moment. The member will be pleased to know that there's a lot of electricity being generated from a renewable source as we speak, with the lakes full in the South Island. Isn't it amazing? Just recently, and you'll be aware, Mr Speaker, just recently we've had deluges of rain down south where a lot of the hydro lakes are, followed up by snow. So it's looking pretty good. It's looking pretty good for renewable sources of generation through this period. And of course, new gas plants like E3P, which I visited during construction in Huntly, are highly efficient and produce relatively low levels of carbon emissions. It would be foolish for the government, I believe, to close off the option of more plants like E3P. If the gas is available and the electricity system needs bolstering and the plant is economic. You think about that this proposal here with this bill blocking investments in new generation that could displace more inefficient and more carbon-emitting existing generation. An example, the ban blocks the building of a new efficient gas turbines in Huntly. And one of the perverse outcomes of this bill, Mr Speaker, could be even a greater carbon emission as a result of this bill. The short time that this thermal ban was in place in 2008, petroleum explorers and investors shied away from New Zealand. This was because they had less of an opportunity to offset their exploration risks and costs against gas sales to new gas-fired electricity plants. The ban also sent a clear message to the petroleum industry that New Zealand was not interested in exploring its hydrocarbon potential. This government has made expanding the petroleum sector a priority, so it makes little sense in our mind to reinstate the ban. And of course, we, the National Party, have a very aspirational target of 90% of our electricity being generated from renewable sources by 2025. And it's interesting to note, and I'm sure the member is aware, that 73% of electricity generated in New Zealand in the 2009 calendar year, which was the highest level ever since 2004, was primarily due to the hydro lake levels and increased geothermal and wind generation. I think it's also important to make a comment about the wind generation that's currently underway, and I'm sure the members are aware that Meridian's West Wind project out in the hills here will generate 143 megawatts, come online, and Mighty River Power's 132 megawatts Ngāawa Purua geothermal station. And of course, back in December 2008, Mighty River's power of the 100 megawatt Kawarau geothermal station came on stream. So to conclude, Mr. Speaker, the National Party can't support this bill this evening. We believe that there needs to be a practical balance of energy generation, and this bill is just too restrictive.
Charles Chauvel.